starting to sketch a teacup or an ellipse starts with laying out the parameters of where the top, bottom, and sides of the ellipse are going to stop, or so the size of the ellipse. So you can do this, very mathematically and measure precisely, or you can do it roughly as I'm doing here. So I'm just adding the level of the tea in the cup and just indicating the height of the rim, so the gap between the tea and the top of it. I enclose this space with a box, so it's very lightly drawn. So I'm going to be able to check my proportion for that freehand drawn ellipse as I go. I found the center or the horizontal and vertical axes and put those in. So the horizontal line and the vertical line across the center finds me the center. I then start to roughly block in the shape of the cup, and nothing is accurate at this point. These are just rough shapes, and I'll go back and correct them later as I go. But right now I'm just going to get a feel for the cup itself. Then I know the saucer has to come in to play and is a vital part of the whole piece. The saucer will follow the same process of making an ellipse as the top of the cup did. So I roughly throw in the ellipse and the size of the ellipse and put those in place. The handle of the cup becomes a good reference point as well for where to place items. So with the saucer itself, I start putting in the box around it, and the ellipse itself, same way as I did with the top. And then if you put in the cross sections and the vertical and horizontal axes, it will be your guide to be able to create that symmetrical ellipse, that oval. So you just keep continuing to build it. The box becomes your axis. You want all this done with a very light pressure because all these construction lines will be eliminated and erased by the time you get to pen and ink and watercolor or whatever medium you tend to use. So these are my guidelines, and it's going to look pretty rough and messy, and it should look rough and messy at this point. So just refining some of the shapes for that cup. And the base, the foot of the cup, same principle for an ellipse. I'm not following the principle of using the box around the ellipse for the actual foot of the cup. I'm just doing that by eye. So starting to refine further, you start out with the biggest shapes you can possibly get and you work them down. When you're just doing a sketch, precision is not crucial. If this is going to be turned into a final drawing, I'd be measuring a lot more and looking at details a lot more. But right now for a sketch, it's just as easy to be able to just rough in your shapes, do some basic checks, and move ahead from there.